Lions in on a single leg shot. Good counter, a little down block and sprawl. Lions in deep here, now with 30 seconds remaining in the first period. Lion goes up a little bit of headhunt and see if he can finish this off. Chase that ankle. It goes to the head, hits the goal behind. 3-0 lead here for Lions. And the cradle was there. Lions a little bit slow to react, but that head to knee was right there for Lions. Saw it just a little bit too late. Now with 10 seconds remaining, he's going to go back to the cradle. Head to knee. Lions has it hooked up. Going to roll him back. Glaseman with the nice counter. Lions has got him on his hip with 1 second remaining in front of the scorers table, and that'll do it. And no near fall, but Lions with the 3-0 lead with the takedown. So up on that Banknor scoreboard. Right now a dual score 18-4. Here we're at 133 pounds. Our 3-0 score in the match here going into the second period. As Lions in the bottom position to start. Lions quad pods up, going to try to circle around. Glaseman with the leg hooked in, a little bit potentially dangerous. A lot of times you'll see that called right away. And wrestlers do that 2 or 3 times in a row. Eventually they're called for stalling. So right now with a minute 46 remaining, we're in the second period. Match score 3-0, quad pod trying up there, mini quad pod will call it. Glaseman able to spike that ankle and get Lions back down on the mat. Lions doing a little wrist fighting, hand fighting. Glaseman working in again, quad pod up by Lions. Knee slide out. Glaseman doing a good job, defended with that spiral on the leg. Now the escape for Grayson Lions. The Lions started in the bottom position here at 133 pounds in the second period. As we're under a minute remaining. Now the score 4-0 with that escape for Lions. Grayson Lions last year state qualifier for the Broncos at 121 pounds. Lions in on another nice single leg shot. Has the head hooked to the inside, looking for Carter Glaseman. Doesn't look like he made the state tournament last year. Might be wrong on that for South Border. Lions in deep, turns the corner for another takedown. Now 7-0 the score. With the takedown, that's the match score. That Olson Accounting update. South Border picked up a forfeit at 107, a pin at 114. Another forfeit at 121. The Broncos with a major decision win at 127. And a stalemate called, no change of position. So that is our 18-4 dual score up on the Banknor scoreboard. As we're at 133 pounds with 10 seconds remaining. A little Granby roll out off the whistle by Glaseman. Good rodeo rider out by Grayson Lions. And we're going 7-0. So 7-0 going into the third period. Glaseman has choice. Takes a look over at Coach. Coach tells him to pick neutral. Lions have scored both takedowns in the match. Glaseman chooses neutral to start. And looks like he has a broke headgear over here for Glaseman. So he's going to take a moment there to fix it. Yeah, so just like to mention, we're up here in our Stockgrowers Bank broadcast booth. It's a little bit different location. We're over in the Omni. Our Stockgrowers Bank broadcast booth is on that south side of the Omni, up in the last row of the bleachers. So here started the third period. Glaseman had choice, chose neutral. Good action there by Grayson Lions. They're moving the head, taking control of that tie-up. Now Glaseman working underneath. Slows Lions down just a little bit. Here with a minute 35 remaining. Lions goes cross knee pick. He's going to try to come out the back door. Glaseman was able to catch a hook in the hook to the inside. He's going to try it here. Lyons is going to try to come out the back door on Glaseman. Lyons just has to keep on working up and elevating. Glaseman doing a good job keeping the hooks in on Lyons. He could pick up a takedown out of this. Right now, they're still saying it's scramble position. Lyons going to work up towards it. Has Glaseman going over. Glaseman is stacked up by Lyons. A pin for Grayson Lyons. Kind of return favor there from 114 with Goebel stacking up Fromke. Now Lyons stacks up Glaseman. And the pin for Grayson Lyons. We're 10-18. Take us to 139 pounds. So we do have a timeout here inside the Lisbon High School Gymnasium. We're going to step away for our own as we have another commercial break coming up here, another 30-second timeout.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon, Winter, or Rutland and get a free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the...
All right, welcome back here to the Lisbon Omni here, back for our Olson Accounting match recap, or dual recap so far here with Olson Accounting. If you need help with your monthly accounting or payroll, let Cindy and your staff give a hand. Rely on the friendly team of professionals at Olson Accounting. For our tax and accounting needs, go to olsoncpa.com. This is your Olson Accounting dual recap as we started our dual promptly at 6 p.m. at 107 pounds as the Broncos, with the Broncos and the Mustangs at 107. It was a forfeit for the South Border Mustangs. Then the Mustangs picked up a pin at 114. That was Goebel with a pin over Fromke at 121 pounds. Another forfeit by the Broncos. Our dual score was 18-0 in favor of the Mustangs. Then going to 127. It was Noah Anderson with a win by major decision. And then the Broncos pick up a pin at 133 for our dual score. Current dual score is 18-10. Now at 139. So Gavin Robertson. Robertson out here for Lisbon, working on a single leg. Has it hooked up. Good quarter Nelson there by Ryland Vetter. Had Robertson going over there with a nice quarter Nelson. Now Vetter goes to a shin whistler. And Robertson working a takedown, picks it up there on Vetter for the 3-0 lead here for Gavin Robertson. As Vetter almost was able to reverse that with that hard quarter Nelson. All right, match score 3-2, a reversal. So it is a reversal now. 3-2's our score in favor of Gavin Robertson of the Broncos, wrestling Ryland Vetter. So here at 139 pounds, the dual score is 18-10 in favor of the Broncos. Vetter in the bottom position, wearing the dark blue singlet, white trim. Robertson in the lead in 3-2 in the second period. Sit out here for Vetter. Now quad pod up. Here Vetter, nice little elevation. Was able to catch Robertson up. Caught him high, flipped him over, puts him on his back, working for a foul here for Ryland Vetter in the South Border Mustangs. Vetter number 2 in Class B at 139 pounds with the win by fall over Gavin Robertson.
Winner by fall, Ryland Vetter.
So Robertson picks up the takedown in the first period.
100.
Reversal by Vetter. Vetter with the big quad pod. Robertson gets high in the win by fall now for Ryland Vetter as he's able to pull him over, throws him to his back for the win by pin. 24-10 here going into 145. And looks like we have a blood timeout. So currently a blood timeout with a 24-10 lead there for South Border up on the Bankmore scoreboard. So the Bankmore scoreboard, trusted partner, financial partner for generations, helping customers and communities build, grow, and prosper. To see what values-based banking can do for you, visit banknorth.bank today. Bank North, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. So Greenlee currently up 7-0 in the match. Blood time to South Border. So back to the center of the map for a restart. Here with Oliver Jenner. Greenlee with the takedown and near fall has the 7-0 lead. As Jenner broke belly down, going for the armbar is Greenlee in the top position. Greenlee goes bar half, gonna run this around, working for a fall here at 1:45 in the first period. Griffin Greenlee has this locked up pretty tight, not chest on chest, a little different position there with the half and the bar, and the win by fall in the first period. Dual score 16-24, going into 152 pounds. So Riker Vetter, Ryan Eng, possible matchup here at 152. Number 5 and number 2.
For South Border, Riker Vetter. For Lisbon, Ryan Eng.
Ryan Eng, 2-time state place winner for the Broncos last year. Didn't make it into the state tournament, injured last year in the dual tournament. Has a 6th place and a 2nd place finish for Lisbon at the state tournament. Eng currently ranked number 5, North Dakota Class B at 152. Riker Vetter ranked number 3. So the 3-5 matchup here. With Vetter in. Single leg, we got a little Merkel going out there by Eng on Vetter. He's going to do it again. Catches him one more time. Good combo. Little chain wrestling by Eng. Didn't give up on it. Vetter's going to go single leg. Ryan not able to hit the whizzer. As Vetter's going to take control on the 3-point takedown. I should say that was the Jones he was hitting there for Eng. So Vetter with the first 3 points, up 3-0. And red warrant for stalling. Here, Riker Vetter, 3-time state place winner for South Border last year. Placed 7th at 139 pounds. He's placed 7th, 8th, and 6th in a state qualifier for the South Border Mustangs. So Vetter in control on top, wearing the blue singlet. Has a cradle locked up here on Eng. Eng has that arm, just trying to take control of the wrist. Vetter still at the cradle, still trying to work the cradle on Eng. Eng reaches through, grabs a boot. He's going to try to hop over the top. There's 23 seconds and a stalemate called. So there was a stalemate. Dual scored 24-16 on the Bank North scoreboard. Broncos down by 8. Broncos have picked up 2 pins. Going into the second period, 24-16 are dual score. 3-1 score after the escape by Ryan Eng. You're at 152 pounds. Vetter in that bottom position. Almost had a false start. Vetter's going to stand up. Works the wrist, stays down nice and tight. Good seal off. Eng tried to drop down to a leg. Vetter's going to go top position. Looks like he has a head cradle locked up. And our front headlock. So just working underneath, front headlock on Eng. Just driving into him with 1:27 remaining in the second period. So 24-16 here at 152 pounds. Eng drops down, single leg Vetter. Nice chain wrestling, hits the goal behind, grabs the ankle. He's up 4-1 with that escape in the second period here for Riker Vetter. Vetter number 2 in Class B, taking on the number 5. Here Ryan Eng at 152 in that waterfall position. Eng's going to try to keep this elevated. And a stalemate called. So stalemate called here at 152. Back to the center for a restart. Second period, 53 seconds remain. 4-1 score, Eng down by a takedown. In the second period, now 45 seconds remain. They'll slide by attempt by Eng. Doesn't budge Vetter. Vetter goes to work on the head of Eng. Wrestlers both holding the center of the mat. Now down 25 seconds. Vetter leading in. Eng takes a shot. Vetter has him snap down on the mat. Eng's going to try to pass that wrist. Eng and Vetter going for the high crotch, a little bit of a super duck on Eng. Eng was able to spin back around just as time expires, goes for the slide by. Eng has choice. He's going to look over. The coach says choose bottom. So 4-1's the score. Lead for Riker Vetter. He picked up the escape in the second period, did Riker Vetter. Takedown in the first. Eng has an escape in the first period. So down under 2 minutes remaining and start of the third period. We're at 152 pounds, Bank North scoreboard. Dual score 24-16 here at 152. Match score 4-1 in favor of Riker Vetter. He's currently in the top position. Eng working on passing the wrist. Able to stand up. Seals off and hip heists away there for the 4-2 score with the escape. The crowd picks up the chatter on the far side of the gym. Escape for Eng. Down by 2 with 1:22 remaining. Eng's going to go double underhook. Eng's going to catch Vetter. Vetter is trying to duck underneath. Eng is going to try to pick up the takedown, so it's up now 5-4. Now he's going to try to jump across. If Eng can jump across and get in better position, has Vetter caught belly down. But there's still a lot of time here for Riker Vetter. So Vetter and Eng, now Eng with the 1-point lead with that takedown. And 5-4, Vetter gets a fresh start. So the veteran out there in Riker Vetter with 51 seconds remaining. Down by 1 point here with Ryan Eng. Picked up an escape. Trying to hit. Oh, and Eng sticks a headlock on Vetter. He's going to pick up near fall. Vetter's going to try to roll him. He was able to chase the leg of Eng. Eng's just going to try to settle in here with 40 seconds remaining. Eng's not getting any near fall. I'm not sure if he knows that right now. He's just looking now. Eng's picking up near fall. He's going to squeeze this tight. Vetter's trying to roll. He's going to try to lock up. Eng has it locked up tight, head and arm. Down with 23 seconds remaining. Eng's going to have the near fall, so he's going to go with his 4 near fall. Now down to 15. Eng trying to pick up the win over the number 2 at 152 here for Ryan Eng. Looking at the Bronco bench with the smile on his face. He knows he's in control in the win by decision here. 9-4 is Ryan Eng over Riker Vetter. Broncos 24-19 going into 160 pounds. That'll bring up Cruz Ranke. So 24-19. We have another time. We're going to take a timeout of our own here. This is yourliveevent.com.
Trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customer satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
Stay up to.
All right, welcome back here. Get into this Olson Accounting duel recap as we started the duel promptly at 6 p.m. At 107 pounds, it was a win by forfeit. Eli Shep picks up the forfeit for Southboard. At 114, Blake Goebel with the win by fall. 12-0 at that point in favor of the Mustang. 121, it was Jared Schilling picking up a forfeit. 18-0 lead for the Mustangs. Noah Anderson for the Broncos picks up a win by major decision. Dual score 18-4. 133, Grayson Lyons with the win by fall in the third period over Carter Glaceman, 18-10. Ryland Vetter pins Gavin Robertson at 139, 24-10's the dual score, 145. Greenlee pins Oliver Jenner, 24-16 in favor of the Mustangs, and then Eng picks up the win by decision over Riker Vetter, 9-4, now 24-19 here at 160 pounds. With Cruz Ranke of the Broncos, as he's wrestling Joseph Keller. Ranke ranked number 2 at 160 pounds, according to the latest Dakota Grappler rankings. And Joseph Keller, honorable mention ranking at 160 pounds. So South Border in the lower weights, a little bit of movement in their lower weights. Upper weights, everybody's holding firm there from 139 on up. As Keller and Ranke with the headlock. And they go out, no change of position, no score. Joseph Keller, last year state qualifier, placed 7th, so the year prior. So Keller, last year state qualifier at 145, and a 7th place state finish for Lisbon for Cruz Ranke. Ranke placed 4th at the state tournament twice last year, placed 4th at 139 pounds. Don't take off that Olson Accounting recap as we're still in the first period. No score between Keller and Ranke. So Keller circles back to the center of the mat, snapped down by Ranke, and we're going to go scoreless into the second. Keller defers. Ranky chooses bottom position. Dual score 24-19. The Broncos down here by 5 points in the duel. And Ranky off the whistle with the stand-up, seals off. And Keller has to make an attempt to return him to the mat. And 1 point escape for Ranky. Ranky and Keller, after the whistle, didn't see what happened over there on the far side. But looked like the action continued out on the hard floor. And big snap down by Keller. Ranky recovers back to the center of the mat. Wrestlers both working collar ties. So we're here at 160 pounds. Cruz Ranky of the Broncos wearing the red singlet, white, yellow singlet, red trim, working the center of the mat. Ranky has the 1-0 lead. Currently ranked number 2 at 160 pounds with the Dakota Grappler rankings. Honorable mention ranking for Joseph Keller. Snap down by Ranky. Keller moves into Cruz. Now down under a minute remaining. There's Ranky. Little feint with the high crotch. Keller takes a step back. Snap down by Ranky. Reshot here by Keller. Now working double underhooks. Ranky's going to try to squeeze those elbows together and counter. Now catches Keller right on the edge of the mat. Goes into the scores table near side. Down to 38 seconds remaining in the second period. So big match up here at 160 pounds. Ranky and Keller. Marquee matchup between between Ryan Ing. They're at 152 pounds. And Riker Vetter, it was Ing, winner by decision, 9-4 at 152. That was the number 2 and the number 5. Riker Vetter, the number 5 ranked wrestler. In Class B, Ryan Ing, the number 5 ranked wrestler. And Riker Vetter, the number 2 ranked wrestler. Here's ankle pick attempt. Now it goes to the knee. Single leg shot by Ranky. Minute left. In, out of bounds, and they're going to run out of time. So as time expires, the single leg shot by Ranky just missed it by about a half a second. Keller with choice will choose neutral, so he's going to go neutral. He's going to try to win this one on his feet with Cruz Ranky. Down to minute 55 remaining here, third period. So Ranky up 1-0 at the end of that second period. Ranky with the single leg shot. Action continued out as time expired. No takedown. Ranky back to a ankle pick. Keller reshoots on Ranky. Down to minute 20 remaining. Little slide by Keller. Ranky tries to reshoot off the edge of the mat. Keller's going to throw Ranky onto the hard floor. And down to minute 9 remaining. In the third period, Ranky still with the 1-0 lead. We are at 160. 24-19 is our dual score up on the Bank North scoreboard. Here's Keller in on a shot on Ranky. Ranky with a nice down block. Hits the sprawl, goes chasing the ankle on Keller. Keller's going to try to drag out of this. Grabs the elbow on Ranky. Ranky has kind of a cradle locked up. Still trying to hit the corner. Here's Ranky. Ranky chasing the ankle. Keller sits out. Nice hip heist by Keller for the counter. And still 1-0 our score. Ranky with the 1-0 lead. 24-19. Snap down by Keller. Edge of the mat. Ranky in the swamp over there on the south border side. Down to 18 seconds remaining. Keller snap down. Ranky's going to go into Keller. Down to 10 seconds. Keller's going to go double unders on Ranky. No stall calls that I've seen have been awarded to either wrestler. Keller's going into Ranky. Ranky's going to hip heist. Keller hip toss to Ranky, and they go out with Under a second remaining. 1-0 is the score. Ranke looking for the win by decision, 1-0, and that'll do it. 24-22 is our dual score. Not pretty, but Ranke comes out with the win. 1-0, picks up the 3 points, going here to 172 pounds. So 172, Eli Lions. Out here for the Broncos, and South Border is open. So looks like a forfeit here for the Lions, going into 189. So the Broncos now up 28-24. Takes us to 189. So 189. So Michelson going out there.
189 pounders.
Brody Michelson will go out.
South Border, Brody Michelson. For Lisbon, Riley Lucina.
So Michelson and Lucina going out. They'll bump up number 1 Shane Nitschke, or excuse me, Cole Nitschke to 215. So Michelson bumps up from 72 to 89. Wrestling Riley Lucina. A little bit of a weight jump there for Michelson. We'll see how he handles it. Shoots in on high crotch on Lucina. Lucina is going to go, hits the double unders on Michelson. Michelson working, trying to hit a dump. Lucina with the single leg. He's going to elevate this on Michelson. Michelson on the edge of the mat. Lucina with the ankles. He's got the toes and bounce. There's still no takedown. Now the 3 awarded. So the 3 takedown here for Lucina. He's able to hook the toes as Michelson trying to get off the mat. So Lucina up 3-0. And the caution on red off the start. So early 3-0 lead. You're at 189. Another caution, so the second caution here on Michelson. You got to get the dual score correct. Yeah, there's a little gamesmanship here for South Borders. They'll bump up Nitschke to 215. Michelson bumps up from 72 as the Broncos had to show at 72 first. There with Lucina, or with Eli Lions, they picked it up the forfeit and took the lead there at 28-24. So with the escape scores 3-1. So score now 3-1 in favor of Lucina here, wrestling Brody Michelson. Lucina last year for Lisbon wrestling 189. Didn't make the state tournament. Michelson in on a single leg on. Michelson takes him down. Lucina has to give it up. Now 4-1 the score with the takedown from Michelson. Here with 19 seconds remaining, Lucina wrestles edge of the mat. Michelson spirals the leg on the far side. Stand up by Lucina. Lucina's going to run it out. And with the escape, we're tied up at 4 apiece with the escape here for Riley Lucina. Tied up at 4, under 5 seconds remaining. So we'll go tied up 4 apiece into the second. On the Banknorth scoreboard, the Broncos leading the duel 28-24. As Michelson ranked number 3 at 172 pounds. Lucina for the Broncos, honorable mention ranking at 189. And Michelson in on a double leg shot. Lucina with the sprawl, has double unders. Michelson, see if he can drag out of this. He's going to try to back out. Lucina working double back to double unders. Still tied up at 4 apiece. Michelson snapped down by Lucina. Lucina's going to drag him down. Michelson goes into Lucina. Lucina with his back to the mat to get stalemate back to the center for a restart. Brody Michelson last year placed 8th at the state tournament at 172 and a state qualifier the year before. Actually, looks like I have him 3-time state qualifier. Placed 8th last year at the state tournament for South Border. So down, nice high crotch shot here from Michelson. In deep on Lucina is going to take him down. Turns the corner. Now Michelson's going to work up to a half on Lucina. Lucina's in some trouble, giving up the near fall. Michelson in tight over the top. Lucina's going to try to bridge out, roll through. Still bridging, has the arm caught. Lucina in on the swamp side of the mat, over on the south border side of the mat. Not the good side to be on. Lucina still trying to get belly down. Michelson goes back to the half. Michelson has the 7-4 lead. Lucina still rolling through, just sheer will and grit. Lucina's able to get back to his belly with the 4 near fall. 11-4 is your score with the takedown and the near fall. So Michelson just putting the pressure on Lucina now, has him in the swamp over on the south border side of the mat. Up 11-4, has the 7-point lead. See what Lucina chooses. I believe it's Lucina's choice. See if he chooses top going into this third period. I'm going to take a look at Coach Dad over there. As Lucina was able to rally, gets out of the pinning combination. Oh, it is Michelson has choice. He's going to pick neutral. Lucina's looking for blood time. No blood. South Border fans tell them to go back out and wrestle. So it looks like 28-24, a dual score up on the Bank North scoreboard. 11-4 is the match score. Michelson has the 7-point lead. In on a nice high crotch shot. Going to double up. Lucina's got to let the head go. He's going to try to work up again. Lucina's got to crawl forward out of that. As Michelson does a good job with the Turk in the leg. Now up 14-4. Has the half locked in tight here for Michelson. Michelson has the half buried in deep, the far wrist. Oh, and a full Nelson by Michelson as he's switching around. So the penalty, 14-4. 14-5 with the penalty. So as he is switching sides on the half, he was put in the full Nelson. Official on top of that with a minute 29 remaining here. See if Lucina hit the stand up off the whistle. So now 14-6. Michelson likes it on his feet. Not much resistance off the whistle. Lucina was able to pick up the first takedown in the first period. We're tied up at 4 apiece after the first period. Michelson blew it open. Takedown and near fall. He hits a nice dump on Lucina. Lucina's going to try to roll through, and he has the takedown and the near fall. So 19-6. 19-6 is our score. Looks like he picked up 2 more near fall. Now we're 20-6. Down 43 seconds remaining. So 20-7 is our score. The escape for Lucina. Another takedown. That's 22-7. That's a win by tech fall. South Border with the 1-point lead. So 28-29.
215 pounders.
So number 1 ranked at 189, Cole Nitschke will come out.
215 pounders for South Border, Kolnitsky.
And Matt Schwab for the Broncos.
Schwab.
Wrestling the big guy is not a problem for Cole Nitschke. He's wrestled up at heavyweight. Last year, state place winner at 285. And on Schwab. Schwab last year, state qualifier for Lisbon, Nitschke. last year for the South Border Mustangs, having placed 5th at 285 and 4th the previous year. There for Cole Nitschke. So Mad Schwab, Nitschke right now scoreless, 1-point lead for South Border. Schwab hand fighting, Nitschke has to go down, takes a knee. Schwab for the Broncos, ranked number 6 at 215 pounds. As he goes double unders on Nitschke and runs him out. So 189 or 215 pounds. Schwab and Cole Nitschke. Michelson does his job, picks up the tech fall at 189 over Riley Lucina, bumping up, taking on Lucina for our 29-28 dual score and a South Border lead. So here's Schwab working a collar tie, Nitschke and hand fighting. Is both wrestlers now working collars, holding center of the mat, working head position, down to 18 seconds remaining in the first period. Nitschke slide by attempt. And a nice low single there by Nitschke. Gets down and dirty. Schwab's going to roll underneath, avoids the takedown there with the scramble. So Schwab gets out of the period. Here we're scoreless with Nitschke. He's going to go neutral as we're 0-0. The dive underneath by Schwab with the big man wrestling scramble. Down to minute 56 on the start of the second period. So wrestlers back on their feet. Schwab pushing into Nitschke. Like a little slide by attempt by Schwab. Nitschke's going to go underneath high crotch using those long Nitschke arms, not able to suck it in. Schwab goes in. Underhook, working head position. Going to try to toss him, gets him on his hip. Here's Nitschke and Schwab. We got a scramble, edge of the mat. Back, Schwab's back in the swamp. He's going to bear hug. Nitschke does a smart thing as Schwab was in deep. Had the bear hug. Nitschke takes the step out. Back to the center for a restart. Second period, minute 10 remaining. We're at 215 pounds. Big North scoreboard, 29-28 South Border Mustangs. Started the duel at 107 pounds. No prelims this evening. So I was expecting prelims. Now Nitschke's going double unders on Schwab. Schwab's going to have to defend here. He's back and Nitschke snaps down, misses it. Now Schwab with double unders. Nitschke's going to go over under. Tried to toss. Schwab's going to go into Nitschke. And we're back to the center for a restart. This thing is going to end in dramatic fashion the way these two are wrestling. Not sure when or where, but it's going to come. There's Nitschke goes underneath. Schwab counters, front headlock. And normally you really see South Border off of that front headlock. They, in the past, have been really great. They're really good at dragging out of that. Lisbon had kind of went away from that because of that, but not seeing it tonight. Down to 10 seconds remaining. Shot there, final 10 seconds. Trying to hit a go behind. Schwab and Nitschke scrambling. And the 3 awarded. And the official gives the 3 on the edge of the mat. And the Bronco side not excited about it. So a 3-0, 2 seconds remaining in the second period. Schwab off the whistle. As time expires, Nitschke's going to choose top. We're going to see if he can get Schwab turned over. He has the 3-0 lead with the takedown, so maybe a controversial takedown. Not good position here to see what happened there in front of the scores table. And now with blood time, looks like we'll take a timeout here on the floor. This is YourLiveEvent.com.
along with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
All right, welcome back after the blood time off the whistle. Crab ride here for Nitschke. Schwab tried to sit out. He has Nitschke in a little bit of trouble. He's going to try to hit the defensive pin. He has Nitschke going to his back. Schwab and Nitschke scramble. Schwab gets out. No points awarded. Schwab in the top position. Had Nitschke in some trouble. Nitschke kind of went to the crab ride and was going to try to hit those double drags and drag over Schwab, but Schwab with the 1-point escape now, 3-1. So 3-1's your score in the match. You're at 215 pounds on the Bank North scoreboard. Nitschke off the whistle. Snap down. And Schwab's going to go into Nitschke. Schwab has this locked up tight. We'll see what he does with it. He's in deep on Nitschke. Nitschke and Schwab are going to roll. Nitschke's going to catch Schwab. Schwab's rolling. Nitschke catches him. And Schwab is flattened out on the far side of the mat. Working for the ball is Cole Nitschke. And the pin for Cole Nitschke here. You knew it was going to end in dramatic fashion the way they were going at it. Nitschke with the leverage stretches out as Schwab tried to roll through. And 35-28 is the dual score. And that'll put the duel in favor of the Mustangs. They're going to 285. So Caseman and Lions going in here at 285. As the duel starts, they have to get the clock set. And Lions with the snap down. Lions with the three-point takedown. They might not, probably won't get to see that Nitschke-Schwab match again, but that'd be a good one to see one more time play out. Working for the escape. Now, Lions breaks him down, throws him back down on the mat. So Gavin Caseman out there for South Border wrestling Brock Lions. Lions turns him over, flattens him out, working north-south, and working for the fall, and that's it. And the South Border Mustangs pull out the 1-point victory, 35-34. That's your final here tonight from the Omni. South Border Mustangs win by 1 point, 35-34. As we will come back, we'll recap our duel with the Olson County Recap, hand out our Enbridge Energy Wrestler of the Duel and our Egg Precision move of the match. So that's just ahead here on yourliveevent.com.
While medicine's greatest advancements look like the latest sci-fi, one of our most powerful tools is far more simple, more human. It's a calling to connect with purpose. That's how we're evolving healthcare, by treating people, not just patients, with innovations that amplify healing and lead to more personalized care, guided by the belief we all hold the power to heal.
All right, welcome back here at yourliveevent.com as we have our Olson Accounting dual recap, our duel this evening starting at 107 pounds and open up with a forfeit as the Broncos forfeit at 107 to Eli Schlepp. South Border led by a score of 6-0. 114 pounds. It was a pin by Blake Goble in the third period over Micah Fromke. South Border led by a score of 12-0. At 121 pounds, South Border picks up another forfeit at 121 as Jared Schilling picks up the forfeit for South Border. Dual score 18-0. at 127 pounds. It was Noah Anderson with a win by major decision over Thomas Bender. And kind of looking back on that match now, that's ends up being a key match or a key point, as Anderson had the opportunity, maybe the opportunity for a win by tech fall, and he chose to take the top position and work for the pin in the third period, and that's going to came to bite the Broncos a little bit here, as kind of look back on that duel. But that was 127 pounds here at the Wilson Accounting recap, as Anderson picks up the first points of the Bronco win by major decision. 18-4 is the dual score. Anderson with the win, major decision win. Our dual score 18-4 in favor of the Mustangs. And going to 133 pounds, Grayson Lyons back in the lineup for the Broncos, as he was in good form here, as he defeated Carter Glaseman by fall in the third period. Dual score moved to 18-10, still in favor of the Saltwater Mustangs. The Mustangs would pick up a win by fall at 139 pounds with Ryland Vetter. Vetter pinned Gavin Robertson in the second period. Dual score 24-10. At 145, Griffin Greeley dominated Oliver Jenner and won by fall. Dual score 24-16. And then 152-pound marquee matchup between Ryan Eng, the number 5 ranked wrestler at 152, taking on the number 2 ranked wrestler Riker Vetter. And it was Eng with the Agassiz Egg precision move of the match going out to Ryan Eng, as Eng would pick up a head and arm at midway through that third period to lock up the victory and some near fall for Lisbon in that match. And it was 9-4 win for Ryan Eng, win by decision over Riker Vetter at 152. That dual score moved to 24-19. Then going into 160 pounds, a defensive battle there between Cruz Ranke and Joseph Keller, as Ranke would come out on top of that one. The number 2 ranked wrestler taking on Joseph Keller. Keller honorable mention ranking at 160. Ranke would come out on top of that by a score of 1-0. The Broncos down by 2, 24-22 in the duel. On the Bank North scoreboard, Broncos pick up a forfeit at 172 pounds. The Broncos led at that point by a score of 28-24. That was their only lead of the duel, as Brody Michelson would come out and defeat Riley Lucina by major decision by a score of 29, or by a major decision. The dual score went up to 29-28. Cole Nitschke picks up the win by fall over Matt Schwab at 215 pounds. Dual score 35-28, and the Broncos with the win by fall at heavyweight. That was Brock Lyons over Gavin Caseman, and our final dual score is 35-34. Final dual score is Southporter Mustangs. The Mustangs improved to 1-0 in the Southeast sub-region Class B duels, and the Broncos are now at 1-1. They defeated Oaks at the beginning of the season. Now dropped this one to Southporter, 35-34. So they're 1-1 in Southeast sub-region. They're 3-1 in duels overall, and Lisbon is back next week for a duel on Tuesday against Central Cass, and then they have a quad against Kindred Northern Cass in Napoleon. That's next week. That's in winter. So we're going to step away. We'll come back with that Agassiz Egg precision move of the match and our Enbridge Energy wrestler of the duel. That's just coming up here on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hey, welcome back. Your liveevent.com. As we're back here for that Agassiz Egg precision move of the map here, move of the match for Agassiz Precision Egg, your local precision planning dealer. Agassiz Precision Egg in Hillsboro. Call 701-436-2109 or visit plannerdoc.com. That's going out to Ryan Eng of the Lisbon Broncos. Eng with that head and arm toss at the midway through the third period locks up that match, win by decision. And a key matchup at 152 pounds between a couple of highly ranked wrestlers and credentials in Class B wrestling the past few years. So Eng comes out on top of that with that win by decision after that head and arm 9-4 over Riker Vetter. And he is your recipient of our precision Agassiz Egg precision move of the match. And Enbridge Energy wrestler of the match here for Enbridge Energy. Life takes energy from Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for those career opportunities. And that's going to go out to Cole Nitschke. Nitschke with the win by fall over Mad Schwab, it was going to end big and it was going to end soon. It just seemed that it was going to come at any moment there as both wrestlers just working inside on each other. And Schwab tried to go ahead and throw Nitschke. Nitschke was able to stretch it out, gain some leverage, and put Schwab in a pinning combination and wins by fall. And Saltborder extended their lead and clinched the duel there at 215 pounds as Nitschke bumped up from 189 to wrestle Schwab. And gave the 6 points to the Saltborder Mustangs, and they led 35-28 at that point in the duel, clinching the duel for the Saltborder Mustangs. So Cole Nitschke is your Enbridge Energy wrestler of the duel. As both teams in action tomorrow, you can catch that Central Cass Letterman's tournament on yourliveevent.com, as we'll have myself, Brady Siebels, and Dan Weber up there from Central Cass covering the Central Cass Letterman's tournament, so you can catch that on yourliveevent.com Friday and Saturday. And also this evening on yourliveevent.com over in our main gymnasium, if you still have some time, you can go ahead and tune in to that Lisbon versus Oaks varsity basketball game. So you should be able to catch that here. That's coming up here momentarily on yourliveevent.com, Lisbon versus Oaks for varsity boys basketball. Yeah, as we're going to close things down, we'll see everybody tomorrow at the Central Cass Letterman's tournament. Just like to thank everybody for joining in or tuning in and watching this North Dakota Class B wrestling duel between the Saltborder Mustangs and the Lisbon Broncos. Your final night, Saltborder defeats the Broncos by a score of 35-34.
You choose Farmers Union Insurance, you're backed by an insurance policy provider that meets your specific requirements. At Farmers Union Insurance Gullison Olson Agency, they offer reliable insurance policies from homeowners, farm and ranch, contractors, small businesses, and more. Let Lance, Shelby, and the staff at Gullison Olson Agency take care of you today. For more information, stop into their office on Main Street in Lisbon for Farmers Union Insurance, Gullison Olson Agency.
Hi, we're Jim and Bernie Berkemeyer, and we're inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join us on a Montreal, Quebec City, and the Canadian Maritimes tour, July 30th to August 9th. Experience picturesque small towns, as well as the historic cities along the Atlantic coast, as we use roads and rails on this Canadian adventure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to request a brochure, to watch a travel show, and to book this tour.
Hey Lisbon, it's time to rally behind our favorite team. The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters are sending all our best wishes to the Broncos as they hit the court and field this season. The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters are proud to support our teams and community. Let's show our Broncos that we're with them every step of the way. Go Broncos! Your dedication and spirit makes us all proud. From all of us at the Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters, we're cheering for you.
The Lisbon Public School District ensures that all students will learn, experience success, and be good students from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful, innovative opportunities for students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District, from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbon.k12.nd.us.